Let me tell you about a story. Now we better talk bound about the law enforcement, a right bunch of clowns. How they wear their badge like a plastic crown. How they're sticking to a story of which they are now bound. It's a rabbit hole they don't want you to go down. But over in Wisconsin, they're doubling down. See, they framed them once, then they did it again. They did not count on filmmakers making MaM.
Hello, everybody.
They thought their lives were safe, all would buy the ruse. They did not figure on 19 million views. It'll make you shake your head and probably frown. But over in Wisconsin, they're doubling down. I said they'll double down, and they'll triple down. They're headed down a road which they cannot turn around. They walk around like they'll be home free, cause they control all the evidence on the local judges and found is the state's AG. But I got some news, it's as plain as day. It doesn't matter what the state or the guilters say.
Hello, everybody.
We got Kathleen.
Hey, Jamie.
She's got them in her sights.
Hi, Ziggy. Hi, Kiyomi. Hi, Sheila.
No matter how hard that state's gavel pounds.
Over in Wisconsin, they're doubling down.
I said no matter how hard that state's gavel pounds. That house of cards,
It's coming down.
it'll make you shake your head, probably frown.
Hello, Spicy.
Said over in Wisconsin,
They're coming down.
Over in Wisconsin, they're coming down.
Awesome. Let me switch over to camera. And hello. How you guys doing? You okay, Erekose? You're making a strange noise. That might be my chair. I don't know what noise you're specifically referring to. Let's see. Andy Baby got back. Okay, how'd we get on that? Hello, Maz. Flaming Tars. New evidence. Oh, yes. I assume that's a question regarding Zellner's tweet. Yeah. She's got something for everybody tomorrow. I'm wondering what it is. I'm wondering if it's this Kathy D. Williford thing, or if it's something else, because she's also been making those tweets, right? Those tweets she's been making where she said that people have been calling her. The phone's ringing constantly with people, calling into her and telling her things. So I don't know what she's going to say tomorrow. Honestly, I've had people asking me what I think, but I sent her a tweet today saying, because I was like, she was asking if everybody was ready, right? And I said, 100% ready. Is it going to be better than a DOJ agent working the auto trader route before Teresa took it over? I didn't get a response, but so I'm not exactly sure what she's coming out with tomorrow, folks. So you get on Twitter and you go find out and see what she's going to be doing tomorrow, because it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be working, unfortunately, so I don't know how well I'm going to be able to see it, but maybe at lunchtime I can tune in and check it out a little bit. So anyway, monkey is missing again. Dang it, the monkey is missing again. There he is. Oops. All right, the monkey's back. Your attempt at singing. Yeah, well, I never said I was a singer. Let's see here. I'm excited about tomorrow. You didn't see a tweet? Oh, yeah, she was tweeting today. She made a few tweets today, but the one that kind of got everybody going was the one where she said she was going to do another Q&A tomorrow, and where she was going to be revealing some piece of evidence, something new. Let's see. What do you think when you tell us? Think, then tell us. Well, like I said, I'm kind of thinking it's going to have to do with the tips that have been getting called in. She did make a tweet saying that she was getting lots of phone calls and people calling in about this. So if there's a lot of people calling in, there's at least a decent chance that one or two of those calls was actually something substantial. So maybe it might be something to do with that. So let's see here. I thought maybe you were talking about the groundbreaking evidence that was supposed to maybe going to you. Oh yeah. You're talking about we haven't seen him, have we? Yeah, I haven't ever heard from him yet. I forget his name. Who was the guy that was saying that? Apparently he's still checking with his lawyer, I guess. So I'm a home automation audio video technician. I work with electronics and wiring houses for them. Let's see. She said something about shining light. Does that possess the broken light? Ooh, possibly. That's, that could be a little bit of a cryptic, kind of statement she made, possibly. Just answered what I do for work. Let's see. Bobby crushed his car a while back. Any details on that? I just know that Zellner, from her last Q&A that she had, she mentioned that in one of the answers in her tweets. And so that's when I found that out. I didn't know about that previously. So I did think that was interesting. I thought that was kind of interesting. I hadn't previously known that. So hello, Erekose from Wisconsin. Hello, Anna. He is a famous cat herder to the stars. Oh, me? Cat herder to the stars. That's funny. Let's see. First time chatter, long time viewer. Your info is awesome on MaM. I hope the new evidence is the Colburn's location when he made the call into dispatch with the RAV4's license. Cell tower pings. That's actually fair. I mean, a lot of people have been asking about Colburn's cell tower pings. Zellner is a lawyer and can ask for those things. She can, write, a letter to the phone company or whatever and most likely get that stuff because it's part of an investigation. So maybe that might be. I'm going to be stalking her channel tomorrow. You mean her Twitter feed? Let's see. We're all well aware of it. What did Clinton V say? Oh, yes. We are pretty well aware of that. Let's see. Jay. That was his name. Yeah, Jay. I haven't heard from Jay. Twitter, I mean. Yeah. Hello, Sharon. Hi. Let's see. Hey, guys. Hey, Valerie. There's Jay. Hey, Jay, where's my groundbreaking evidence, bud? Where's that stuff at? You're already starting. I'm starting. I'm here. Let's see, nothing, Amber. Did they ever check Scott old house for blood or anything? Since if they didn't check the Dassey residence, I doubt they checked anything of Scott's. I haven't heard of it. Let's see. Hey all. Let's see. When you guys are done here, I just posted a new video. I'm off to bed, way tired. Yeah, we did notice. We did notice there, perplex cutie. And I'm sure many of us will go over and check that out as soon as we're done here. Let's see. What's up, y'all? What's up, Brian? Thank you for your 2 cents that wasn't asked for. Oh, I see. Okay. I miss Marissa. Where is Marissa? I noticed she was online on Messenger. Where is she? Let's see. Hi, Julie. We'll watch your video later. Okay. They were too one-tracked to look anywhere else. Certainly, if you're talking about the Avery investigation. Let's see here. They were too one-tracked to look anywhere else. You will hear. Oh, it's interesting. So that's what you had to do with it. Is that what your lawyer advised? Because honestly, if it was that big, I was going to advise you to do the same thing. So, that's interesting. That's funny. Okay. I'll be interested to find out what we're going to find out tomorrow. I've been watching the Bodeki. I've been watching that Bodeki or whatever his name is. Oh, Bagadka. Okay. Had some creepy info about the clubs in that area. Yeah, he put those out like right after MaM won, to share his experiences. But yeah, they've been there for a while. I'll be up on it later, Laura. Yeah, okay. See Ryan's cell tower pings. What about Ryan's cell tower pings? Hold on a second here. Ryan's cell tower pings on the 3rd. Yeah, his would be good. What happens on Friday? I don't know. I can't think of anything right now happening Friday that I know of. Tomorrow, Thursday, Zellner doing the Q&A, but I'm not sure of anything on Friday, or at least I'm forgetting it if there is something. Let's see, J Champ, I'm worth a whole lot more than 2 cents. Try $100. Okay. Where is my Marissa? Let's see. Questions from an article earlier today. Would the RAV fit in Avery's garage? How did he do everything with that key so hidden? To tow that car, you have to turn it on. I read how did they tow it out? Okay, so you read an article about basically saying it would have been very difficult for them to put the RAV4 in the garage and all that sort of stuff, I guess. Do me a favor, like email that or something over to me. Let me take a look at it, because I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. Hi, Lori. Hi, Julie. Marissa, is she online, not answering messages? Let's see. Hopefully Marissa's nowhere near Manitowoc. I don't think she is. She's in Canada, so she might be having like a headache or some migraine or something like that. Something that's making it difficult for her to get online. Let's see. I think it's about the car battery not being the correct battery in the car. Saying they switched battery because car was dead. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Travis. Laura has a live chat on Fridays, and it gets wild in there. Yeah, I guess it does. Hey, longtime fan. First time to posting tonight. Hello. It's good to meet you, Bo. Let's see here. Would not surprise me one bit that Colburn didn't file a report about Teresa's car 2 days before it was found on the Averys. He did the same in the 85 case. Colburn wasn't involved. Colburn wasn't even with the sheriff's department in 85. I don't believe he was even with the sheriff's department in 85. Oh, but you are talking about when he received the call in 97. And when he received the call in 97, that got him tied up in the 85 case. So yes, sorry. That in that way he got tied up in it, but he wasn't actually there back when it happened. Stupid hair. All right. Friday, let's see. Friday is Laura night. Happy hours on Friday. I really like Dave's videos. I know people sometimes question after seeing one or two, but knowing all we know, now his story is quite compelling. I agree. I mean, Let's see. Don't worry, I'm here. Didn't want to delete yet. Okay. Just try to, where the people are arguing with each other, just kind of get that out of the way so I don't have to read that. Great video last night. Thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate it, buddy. Sorry Sorry about asking about Friday. So new here, catching up on who does what. Oh, so yeah, then you have Laura's video on Friday. So yeah, okay. So Laura goes live on Friday. I'll be going live too. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I just uploaded a premiere for tomorrow. Yeah, I just uploaded a premiere for tomorrow. So and that premiere sets up a live for Friday. So that might be interesting. Hopefully, if I get out early on Friday from work, I can just go before Laura, and that will be helpful. That would be hopefully ideal. Anyway, Chad Huckabee. Okay, let's see. I hope Zellner has gotten her hands on the RAV. I don't know if she's gotten that yet, but like to see it happen eventually. I'd like to see Bobby's old Blazer. It's crushed, so you'd see a bunch of crushed metal, essentially. The car not fitting in the garage will be part of the tweet tomorrow. Okay. Do we know who the female was in SA's truck at the gas station? Dave Bagaka reasons that it was Jody, or they weren't sure actually who it was, so not sure. What on earth did Shona White say that had to get deleted? Okay. Thank you for the shout out about out of Virginia near DC. Oh, you're welcome, Bo. What is the Ed Edwards theory? Oh, brother. The Ed Edwards theory is that Edward Wayne Edwards, who is a known serial killer. He was a prolific serial killer who was eventually brought to justice, but he wasn't brought to justice in 2005. Hadn't been arrested and stuff yet. He wasn't in prison in 2005. So there is a pool, a school of thought out there with some people that believe in it, that Edward Wayne Edwards came there because, number one, well, the way the theory goes is because Edward Wayne Edwards was a really smart guy. He used to do a lot of stuff he would manipulate law enforcement prejudice to commit crimes, and know that the law enforcement would naturally go for somebody like a dog for a bone. Sound familiar? Right? So that's why, this is one of the reasons why Edward Wayne Edwards gets talked about. Problem is I just don't know. It doesn't really, I don't personally can't really say that I can put much stock in it, other than, yes, it would fit his MO to come and frame another person and exploit law enforcement bias. But beyond that, I have really nothing to suggest Edward Wayne Edwards. And then we have to somehow explain how Edward Wayne Edwards got Stephen Avery's blood and planted that in the RAV4, or we have to believe that law enforcement did it. So that's kind of, for me, the issues with Edward Wayne Edwards. You're doing great work. Thanks, James. Go live. We will be here. Right, because the snowmobiles were in the garage as well. Yeah, there was, so much stuff in there. It wasn't a whole lot of room in that garage. Doesn't it make your skin crawl watching that interview with Mike 2 days after TH is missing, where he just wants closure and to find her so that they can begin the grieving process? Yeah, that statement has, not gone unnoticed. Lots of people have perked their ears up because of him saying that, and it is strange that he said that before anybody could know. I wish SA and BD had the same familial support that Ryan Ferguson had fighting his false conviction. That was a touching story, with his mom and dad going to such lengths to fight the system. Absolutely, the Ryan Ferguson story is a pretty amazing one. Just got here, my man. Erekose is on the air. Thank you, Randon. Emberly, if you Google the name, you can find a lot of information on him. Have you all seen the video about the compelling evidence about the blood planting in the RAV? That's my video. In that video, it's unclear as to whether it was really planted, or whether it appeared under the lights at the lab, or whether fingerprint dust made it appear. But the really interesting thing about that video, to get off on a sidetrack about it just real quick, is the fact is you can see the blood. There was enough blood there to see. You could actually see it with your eyes. So that means plenty of DNA. And yet they weren't able to get a full profile from him. They were able to rule out Steven, but they weren't able to get a full profile. So what that suggests is, because it wasn't coming up as Steven's blood or DNA, they didn't want to know. and I think Sherry Culhane tanked the test when she realized that it wasn't going to come up Avery. Let's see. So will the real TH phone records, along with a time pointing to AC having possession of the car from the third and 3 different times he planted the evidence? I'm way behind on these live chats. I just wanted to say I'm more angry than ever, and hoping like hell KZ brings everything down, and everyone who planted evidence rots in hell. Yeah, that's, we all hope for that. And no worries, Christine. You can go back and watch the lives whenever you want, whichever ones you missed. They're all kind of self-contained. It's not like a series where you got to watch them in a row. It's not like that. So you can go catch up on them anytime. They all have names that kind of indicate what the basic subject matter for the video for the live session is, and you can go back and check those out whenever you want. I only said absolutely. I agree with Amber. Was Jody out on the 31st? No, Steven actually talked to her twice while this was all supposed to be going on. He talked to her on the phone because she was calling from jail. Crushing the Blazer was stupid because they are classics. Yes, they are. Highly sought after in restoration. Absolutely, they are. I know. I've known many people that buy them, that look for them and buy them. They are very hot item. They, doesn't make sense to crush them unless, I will say this, guys. I don't know how many of you are from Wisconsin, but I was in Wisconsin in June, and I noticed something there that was kind of interesting. Probably like 1 in 4 cars, 1 in 4, maybe 1 in 5 cars had serious like cancer around the rear wheel wells. And so instead of seeing a nice clean, wheel well or whatever, you would see like jagged rusty metal because it was getting, corroded and eroded away, the metal from that salt that's on those roads and stuff like that in the wintertime when it's snowing. And like I said, it was like 1 in 5 cars that were like, so if the Blazer was just completely shot out from all the salt on those roads and stuff, and it was just like to the point of even the body was just crumbling and rusting, or at least certain parts, crucial parts where it was just not worth saving, maybe that could be a potential explanation. But other than that, I agree. The things are highly sought after. Let's see. They didn't check for fingerprints on the car because there were none and couldn't frame him. I hope they check for prints and find the cops. Yeah. Then again, maybe that's why we were all pulling together for SA and BD, because they don't have the support foundation they need, possibly. And certainly all the support, any support helps. The only thing I have to disagree with you about is I think he could have pulled it off. Disagree with me about who's he? Are you talking about Steven or are you talking about Bobby? I'm unclear. Let's see, there's a video of a guy at a trial that looked like Edward. Okay, that's an old thing. It was in MaM 1. There was a guy at the trial they showed him in a court hallway or whatever, and people were theorizing that it could be Edward Wayne Edwards, but it's been proven now who that was, and it wasn't Edward Wayne Edwards. They went and vetted that out, and it was actually somebody who wasn't Edward Wayne Edwards. That has actually been investigated and figured out. Good point, Angela. Plus, there's a guy that looks like him in 2 pics in the doc. Lori, no jail. No, in jail. Steven talked to her twice, right? Shona, sorry, my mistake. Glad I didn't do anything wrong. Didn't think I did. Okay. Let's see. Late to class, but I'm here. Hi, Audra. Okay, so going to the Newsweek article and Casey's quote, I understand her points, but I am not buying that a kid remembering what a woman wore is that unusual. She throws it in. Yeah, she throws that in, and I'm not going to sit here and say that that's the piece of evidence that breaks it. No, but I will honestly say it's uncommon for a young man that age to notice all those things about a girl that he doesn't like. So, I mean, I will say that is a little odd. But like I said, Travis, you're absolutely right. It's not the piece of evidence that's going to bring it all down. You know what I mean? Let's see. And there is no house key. Everyone has a house key. Absolutely. Travis, do you have any teenage sons? Could they look at TH financial statements to see the last time she got gas and see where she was, and go back and check video footage to see if the taillight was missing? I would imagine that they already tried. Well, if they didn't do it back then, it would be too late now because any video would have been overwritten by now. It just wouldn't exist. So, and I'm sure they didn't do it back at the time because they just weren't looking to do that. They weren't looking to shoot holes in their own case, and so to speak. I would think the cops planted the blood to get rid of Avery, and like the previous case, not worry about catching the right guy. Possibly, but you got to figure out where the blood comes from. Now, I have a theory of where the cops could have gotten blood. I wish it was solid, but I wish it was a little bit more of a solid theory, but we'll have to see how things play out. Her brother grieving 2 days in is exactly how Scott Peterson was acting, and we all know how that turned out. And yes, the wrong battery was found in the RAV. Okay. Sorry, I'm late. LOL, the life of a head chief, it never ends. Let's see. I mean, headlight. Bad Erekose, good work. Kim K. All right. Maybe the burnt phone in PI Pam's picture. Is there any connection between Bobby Dassey and Ryan Hillegas? I've heard a suggested connection, but I don't have any proof of it. There's no proof that exists of it, but some people have said that there was a connection, but I don't even want to repeat it because I can't really confirm it. There's no way to really confirm it. There's no statement out there or anything. There's just some people that are saying that there might have been a connection, but it's not enough really for me. Who is Scott Peterson, and why are people all over the internet comparing him to Mike Halbach? Scott Peterson is from a documentary called The Staircase. You might want to check it out. 13 episodes. He was convicted, and then he was basically released and won his freedom and that sort of thing. So your hair looking on fleek today, Erekose. Oh, thank you so much. I guess. I hope. I don't know what fleek means. Let's see. Chad. No connection that we know of. Road salt. Scott Peterson killed his pregnant wife. Oh. I'm thinking of Michael Peterson. Wait, let's see here. Am I talking about the wrong Peterson? I think I am. Well, anyway, if it's Scott, or if it's, what was it? If it's Scott Peterson, then that would be, a different Peterson. Ugh, too many Petersons. I live 20-30 miles from the Averys. We use a lot of salt. Yeah, and that's what I mean. I mean, I just saw so many cars, and there was a lot of cars on the salvage yard. No wonder they ended up at the salvage yard, because there was a bunch of them that had that really bad. But then when I was in town over at the courthouse and stuff for the rally and stuff, I was seeing them on the road too. About 1 in 5. I would say about 1 in 5 cars on the road had some rusting and some jagged metal around the rear wheel wells. So if I delete messages, it's to keep the questions asked clear for Erekose, so don't be offended. Okay, that's cool. I haven't seen ST whole timeline for his alibi, since he dropped off his mom at the hospital mid-morning and it only takes 25 minutes to get home. Where was he for 3 to 5 hours before he went hunting? Fair question. Gotta have that clear coat. Okay. Chad Huckabee, I was wondering that myself. And it being a small town, there is no doubt that perhaps there is some sort of connection somewhere with some of these people. It was strange. Jody was supposed to be out on the 31st, so to attend a meeting with Steve. They canceled it. So why would Steve plan anything for that day as he was meeting Jody? Right? None of the prosecution's theory makes sense, really. So, let's see. I didn't realize that about the DNA profiles. Very fishy. Yeah, it is. Peterson. Agree, Jamie. Yeah, I know. I had the wrong Peterson. Sorry. What are your thoughts on KZ's sense of humor? Right. So let me go ahead and get into the... Sorry, Travis. Yes, thank you for, try to answer everybody's questions for, say, 5 or 10 minutes. But Travis is chomping at the bit. Anyways, so that Newsweek article yesterday was pretty darn interesting. The points it brings up are pretty valid. The first one, I think, is staggeringly valid, really. When you think about this jury convicted Stephen of the murder, right? But they didn't convict him of the mutilation of a corpse or the disposing of a corpse, however you want to refer to it, right? They didn't convict him of that. And then they convicted him on the stupid gun charge. The gun that was hanging above the bed in the trailer before he even moved in there, but fine. Technically, by the letter of the law, well, actually, Ken Kratz had to file paperwork that somebody had not filed in order for them to be able to arrest Stephen for that, which was interesting. Stephen had gotten out of prison, and the paperwork never got filed for him about not being able to own a gun. So Ken Kratz actually had to file that paperwork before they could arrest him on the gun charge, and that's how they were able to keep him locked up before trial, was because they arrested him on that gun charge. But Ken Kratz had to file some paperwork in order for them to be able to arrest him because it had been forgotten. Interesting little tidbit. But, so, bringing it back to what I was saying. So we have this jury that convicts on the murder but not on the mutilation of a corpse. And many people have theorized the reason why that happened is because the jurors that held out and bargained with the jurors in there that were dead set on Stephen's guilt. However it happened, many people think that some of the jurors bargained it out where they decided to go ahead and vote guilty with the other jurors, but then everybody had to vote not guilty on the mutilation of a corpse. And people theorized that the jurors that did this, or that were sticking out for this, that they were trying to send up a red flag, that the appeals court would see it and go, they're getting him for murder but not mutilation of a corpse. Like, the jurors thought that might cause the appeals court to go, let's take a little better look at this. Didn't seem to work out that way, but Zellner's definitely at this point pointing it out. She was pointing out that the fact that the jury was out for 3 days, which is a long time for a jury to be out. And most defense lawyers, when a jury's out that long, they generally think that they've won. It's generally, the statistics are that when a jury stays out that long, it tends to come back not guilty. So most lawyers would think that they'd won. So being in there 3 days shows that they were in there talking, they were in there talking about something, discussing something. Something was a hot topic, and they were discussing it for somewhat of a long time. And I could compare like with the Scott Davis case, completely circumstantial case with no actual physical evidence. That jury was stayed out for 5 days, and Scott's lawyers really thought that even Scott thought he was probably going to be acquitted. And when that verdict came out after 5 days of guilty, you could just see the blood run out of Scott's face when that verdict came through. Totally circumstantial case, and like I said, it took 5 days. The jury stayed out for 5 days on that because it was so circumstantial. I'm sure they had a lot to talk about. You know, you're putting a guy away for life based on circumstantial evidence. You probably want to make sure you're getting it right. So that was the first part of the Newsweek article. And the reason why I'm saying all this about Zellner's sense of humor, folks, I'm talking about Zellner's sense of humor because think about when the first MaM came out. Sorry, I'm ignoring the chat right now because I got some things to say and I don't want Travis to start, smacking me with a ruler or something. Anyways, the reason why I say that Zellner has a sense of humor here is because when you think about when MaM first came out, what happened? Immediately, Ken Kratz comes out into the press, sending his email everywhere, all over the world, every news agency sending this email to them, and he's talking about the evidence that MaM left out. So this time, Zellner is coming out and saying the evidence that MaM 2 left out, but it's her own evidence. So to me, that is humorous. That is funny. I think she did. I think she was doing it on purpose. I think it's her sense of humor, personally, and I love it. I think it's hilarious. All right, let's check the chat here a little bit. Let's see. So strange. This is so very strange. Is the complete unwillingness of the TH family to even consider that they might have been. Yeah, it is unfortunate, but. They are a family in pain, so it's not. I mean, I'm not really here to hold it against them because they have suffered a significant loss. Do people think Bobby and Teresa was dating or had a weird obsession with her? I mean, things on that computer seriously was appalling. See, I don't really want to say things that that they're really just hearsay. I know things that I've heard, but I don't really want to be the one spreading them around, especially not here on a live chat where a bunch of people are going to come in, 2,000 people by tomorrow, and have heard me say it. I don't want to do that. It's not. I try to stick to things that can be proved. If I start talking about that rumor that you're kind of digging at here, I'm not going to do it here. You want to message me privately? I'll tell you. That is a good idea, Clinton's cell phone records. Yeah. He should have been able to have a gun. He wasn't a felon. He didn't do the crime. Actually, no. A part of his 85 conviction, 8 of those years he served were rightfully served. 8 of them were for him pointing that rifle at his cousin. So those 8 years were rightfully served. The additional 10 were the reason why he was wrongfully convicted. So just so you know. So because of that original gun charge in 85, when he got out, even after being exonerated of the Penny Burnson rape, he was still supposed to be prevented from having a weapon. The funny thing is the paperwork never got filed. Ken Kratz had to go and file it himself so that they could arrest Avery and keep him in jail before the trial. So it's just interesting, really. Let's see. That is a good idea. Okay, so sorry, I've been dying to hear the sense of humor take. So on the gun charge, it is felon. Let's see. So on the gun charge, it is felon in possession of a firearm. Possession is defined by statute and varies from state to state. Well. Actually, Travis, this is something you can maybe help with. So he wasn't supposed to. The funny thing is, so I don't know if you saw what I was explaining here. 3 days for sure, you would think you have won, or a mistrial, which is a partial victory usually, right? Let's see here, 3 days. I'd actually like to talk about that whole gun situation with you, Travis, seeing as you're a lawyer. PayPal is giving them. Okay, so wait, I think I need to address something here. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so let me explain the super chat thing here because it's obviously clogging up the chat here. I just had asked in my last live video to just because YouTube was kind of messing with me, and they were demonetizing a couple of my videos, which I don't really care about the money so much. It's that YouTube cares about the money. And if they can't slap an ad on it, or if they won't slap an ad on it, they won't bother trying to suggest it to other people. And part of the really cool thing about uploading to YouTube is that algorithm that they have. And if your video is monetized, then YouTube is motivated to share it with people because they can slap an ad on it, right? So YouTube cares about the money. So what happens when they demonetize a video? It means it's harder for me to get it around. It's harder for me to, it doesn't get shared as much. And so I was a little bit peeved about that. And then I found out that YouTube was taking 30% of all the super chat money that comes through here. If YouTube's going to be messing with me and doesn't want to let me share some of my videos, then I don't really want them to get 30% of all of your guys' money. That's all. That's all. And if you guys don't have to donate to me. Absolutely. Do not have to do that. It's not required. I love you all anyways. Okay? But if you want to, if you have to, if it's just absolutely dire need that you just need to hook Erekose up with something, then you can go to PayPal, Erekose MaM. I think I left. Let me see. Did I leave? Well, I left it in one of the last live video. I left a link in there. I hope it's still there. But I put it in there. I'd have to go back into PayPal right now and get the link to share with you guys. Or you could just go to PayPal and send it to erekosemam@gmail.com. That's it. That email is, by the way, in the information below the video. The email address, erekosemam, exactly how it's spelled, exactly what it looks like. You can see it right there. If you go to PayPal, you can send it to me that way if you want. I was just not too keen with giving YouTube 30% of your guys' money when they're kind of jerking me around. So that's all. Damn, it's 40 minutes. Let's see. I don't know what time you work. Will you be watching Zellner's Q&A? I honestly am going to try best I can. I might have to wait till lunch. But I'm very curious. That is a great point. What was left out of MAM1? Now she preempts it. Exactly. It's to me, that was what I was saying was her sense of humor, because she's basically coming out going, MAM2 left evidence out. Oh, but it's ours. I just thought that struck me as humorous to me. So let's see. What is the date of the first flyover of Avery Salvage? I believe the first. I'm not sure if they did one on the 3rd. I know they did one on the 4th, and I'm pretty sure they did one on the 5th. Or was it the 3rd and 4th? I don't know. It was like 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly which days. I know the 4th for sure, but I can't remember. Seeing as they found it on the 5th, I don't know that they would have been doing a flyover. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I watched the flyovers. Oh, you're welcome, Ethel. Let's see. YouTube is broken, has been for a while. Let's see. I need to see what the jury instructions said and see what they were given terms of definitions. All right, just trying to get caught up here so I can talk with Travis about that gun charge. You need the jury instructions for about what would happen with a gun charge? Well, I'm going to ask you about something different. It doesn't have to do with a jury. It's going to be having to do with Ken Kratz and what he filed, what didn't get filed, and what he may have filed, if you may know. We got an ad today. Yeah, got an ad. Okay, an ad on this video. Okay. YouTube is broken, has been for a while. Happens to the largest pages on here, and nothing changes with them. It's not going to change with you. Oh, I figured it. Well, I figured YouTube wasn't going to give a damn. That was I already assumed that. That's why I said that's why I just said, okay, fine. They don't deserve 30% of your guys' money. You know, if they're gonna be like that, and they're just gonna arbitrarily be jerks, hey, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. What do you want me to say? They don't freaking deserve it. Get Streamlabs for donations. Ugh. I'd rather go without. I'm not giving Streamlabs control of my content. Ain't happening. And that's what. And when I went to sign up and get Streamlabs, that's what they wanted. They wanted to be able to have. They were telling me that they were making me agree that they would have the ability to go and edit and delete things from my channel. Ain't happening. We love you. The email is in the previous email. PayPal works too. Streamlabs you can set up to show the person's message. And I really would like that. That would be cool. But I need to understand more of what Streamlabs is, because I certainly am not giving any other entity any control of my content. Zero. Let's see. And if I can make that work for you guys, I'll get the Streamlabs. Absolutely. I just didn't like it when it was telling me that they were going to be able to delete stuff on my channel. I was like, oh, hell no. We'll donate money and DJ. Wait, what happened here? Brendan Half-Brother did an interview on the radio today. Yes, Brad Dassey did an interview on the radio today. I have not been able to watch it or see it or even hear much about it, other than he was making a bunch of claims. You know, Barb was saying he was making a bunch of claims that were untrue. So I still have to watch it, so I don't know. I will donate money and DJ the event when Steven and Brendan get out. MAM release party. First song, I Shot the Sheriff. That's funny. Let's see. When and where is the Q&A? It's tomorrow on Twitter. You just go to Kathleen Zellner's page on Twitter. I think it's 12:30 Central Time. So that should be 12:30 for Wisconsin. And you go to her Twitter page at 12:30, and you'll just start seeing her. She'll put out a tweet, and then you'll start seeing people like reply to that tweet, and then she'll start answering those questions, and it'll be all on her Twitter feed. You just go to her Twitter feed tomorrow. Kathleen Zellner is so hot. It's horrible trying to watch it. Let's see what we got here. How didn't Kratz go to jail for rape? Hello, Jerome. Kratz didn't go to jail for rape because OLR found no infraction, no violation. OLR cleared him. In your opinion, did you see anything interesting in the flyover videos? I personally couldn't. It was hard to see anything really. But there's been people that have been saying that it doesn't appear that the RAV4 was there on the 4th. So, like I said, it's been a long time since I watched him. And so I'd have to go back and look at him to get kind of reminded. Let's see here. Oh, there. Sharon put up my PayPal link. There, right there. Thank you, Sharon. I would like to see what Kratz had to file to make the charge. If someone can point me in the right direction, I can find it. Is it on the .org site along with everything else? It might be, actually. It might be, but it was basically like when Steven got out of prison, there should have been something filed. Like the prison or whoever, there should have been something filed that put Steven on a list where he basically wasn't allowed to have a firearm. Well, what I've been hearing is that that didn't get filed. And basically when this all went down and they saw that gun over his bed, they went to go look, and apparently it had never been filed. And so from what I've heard, Ken Kratz had to file it himself. He had to file the whatever paperwork it was so that, you know, they could arrest Avery for being in possession of a weapon, or being in possession of a rifle, which, as I've said, was hanging above that bed before Steven moved in. So Can they shut you down, bro? Who? YouTube? I suppose they could. I don't know. They probably could, I guess, but I doubt they will. You know, I'm not mad. I'm not, super mad at YouTube or anything. They still allow me to get on here and talk to you guys and everything. It's just that they're being kind of, if they want to be greedy and be jerks with my, not allow me to get the maximum amount of sharing of my videos, then they don't deserve your guys' 30%. Plain and simple. Let's see. Was the RAV found with the tarp over it or no tarp? No, the tarp was added by them because they were like trying to preserve the evidence and they didn't want the sun. They were trying to block the sun and all that or whatever. At least that's the story and they're sticking to it. Gotta love how every witness testifies in our files, reports, and can't remember what happened or what they said or changes their story. But SA always has the same story and he is incredible. Right, exactly. Lori, don't you think he's been accused of rape? I hope King Kratz watches these. Yeah, he probably doesn't though. See, it's on YouTube. I was wondering that too. Clinton was wondering if they did fingerprints on the tarp or any other items. For felon in possession of a firearm, you have to allege the felony conviction date and disposition. He may have needed to amend the indictment to include that information. Okay, so that may be what it was then. So all I know is that whatever it was that needed to be done hadn't been done, and so Ken Kratz quickly got it done so that they could arrest him, and then that's how they were able to keep Stephen Avery in jail during the trial. So that, he wasn't even allowed, after 10 years of being wrongfully convicted, he wasn't even allowed to be out for his own trial. It's just like, wow. Where can you find a link to this radio station interview? I wonder now. Anyone know? Oh, if anybody knows, I know it's out on Facebook probably somewhere. It was something about 95.9, I'm thinking, somewhere in Manitowoc there in the area in Wisconsin, I think is the station it was. Barb called him bitching. Oh, really? Let's see. Are you going to do a recap of the Zellner tweet? Which tweet? She made a couple today. So you're talking about the Q&A. I've been talking about that. Basically, you go tomorrow at 12:30 Central Time. You go to Kathleen Zellner's Twitter, and at 12:30 it'll start. She'll make a tweet. Somebody will reply to that asking a question, and she will then, usually what she does is she'll whatever tweet she decides to answer, she retweets it, and then she puts text in the retweet so that the question is there and then her answer is above it. So that's generally how it works. So that, or at least that's how it worked when she did the Q&A last time. So that's how it should work this time. Have they ever pinged Ryan's cell phone? Not that I know of. Gosh, everybody keeps asking that. Ellie Apperson has the Brad Dassey on her channel. I noticed the notification, so there you go. I didn't know exactly if she was just talking about it or if she actually had the actual interview. I was busy uploading a video before I went live here today, so I didn't have much time to check things out. I had a dream that Stephen was being freed from prison, but before he could get out, they killed him. Just a dream, people. Yeah. Where does the paper with TH's phone number and the address for Xander Road come from? And what are your thoughts on the evidence known as the TH letter? Not sure what you're referring to, the TH letter. The Xander Road thing I've covered. I have videos about Xander Road. There was a for sale sign on Stephen's desk that had written on it Xander Road, and it was Teresa Hallbach's phone number on it. The thing is that where it got pulled out from, you could actually see the edge of the paper or the edge of the sign. And you could see it was just white, blank white. Somehow this thing gets pulled out of there, and there's writing on the back of it, but all that writing is close to the edges, really close to the edges, very close. So And then there was a felt tip marker that was on a magazine over by the computer. That in the next picture, that marker is like sitting on top, right near where the for sale sign was. I have issues with that for sale sign. I'm not sure what's going on with that for sale sign. It's very weird to me. But all I know is I don't see that writing near the edges of it when it's tucked in. I did a video, Zellner Road Part 1, if you wanted to go check it out. Here's what happened. Colburn pulled over TH and started hitting on her. Then she laughed to death. Okay. On the gun charge, that could have been charged federally at the option of U.S. attorney in the district. If there was more serious charges like murder, the feds usually let the state prosecute it. I think so. I think whatever this was, I think was just state. I don't think it was going federal. Whatever Kratz was filing, I'm pretty sure it was a state thing. I think they have checked his phone, was off during the time suspected, up to no good. Yeah, you know what? I think I did hear that about Ryan's phone, now that I think about it. They used gun charge to remove him from the property. Exactly. Talk about going down the rabbit hole. It gets worse the more you know. Yeah, that's true. Martin Luther King had a dream too, and they killed him. That's true. So what going on with Steve in this case? You're just asking me what's going on with Steve in this case? That's a pretty general question. Can you be a little bit more specific, Sergio? Basically, Steve is awaiting Zellner to file on December 20th his next appeal. He has one appeal that's on hold. He has an appeal filed right now that's on hold, and that's on hold until Zellner files this current appeal and this current appeal gets dealt with. So we're basically in the appeals court with Steven. Hope that answers your question there, Sergio. Ken deceived everyone. The gun charge filing after the fact doesn't surprise me. We have the same dream for people. We try to help who are on death row. Something like that happened a few years ago in Texas with a judge who wouldn't allow something to be filed. I think I heard about that, actually. Sheriff Peterson also said under oath that Stevie was probably guilty even after he was exonerated. Absolutely. That's what I've been talking about. You got agents of the state that are saying to this day that Stephen is guilty of raping Patty Burnson. How can I believe any of these idiots? Next thing goes down December 20th in court. Well, it gets filed with the appeals court. It's been said that after SA is arrested, the next day a postal worker finds a letter on a conveyor, supposedly from the real killer, describing how she was killed and taunting police. Oh, the Sikaki letter. You're talking about the Sikaki letter. Yeah, the Sikaki letter is strange. And what Zellner has basically come to the conclusion that whoever it was just a very, just didn't have a lot of education, didn't really know how to read or write very well. And when they wrote Sikaki, it's believed that they were trying to write Skinny, which was the last name, or which was the nickname for Scott Taddick at his work. And that's where they believe this letter came from. Erekose, what do you think about Dave and his wife? Speak about see Stephen on night of 31st November. It was the 31st of October. Stephen never talked about that, and I believe Dave. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I kind of believe Dave too, but you know, I don't know. It's like I say, I tend to believe some of the things. I mean, there's certain things that Dave says you can verify, like what happened with his bar and what happened with the lady that was helping him run it and stuff like that. I mean, so there's truth in Dave's story. So you kind of wonder at some of these things, and you know, I believe him and his wife when they say they saw Stephen over there. So, and that truck would have been, You know, he had that big old truck and everything. I mean, that would have been pretty distinctive. Erekose, you keep missing my question. Hold on, Kiyomi. Oh, I keep missing it because somebody keeps deleting it. How do you explain Stephen Avery's third phone call to TH on the day? Someone on Twitter says that proves his guilt. Proves to me that he was trying to call her back maybe for another car. It doesn't prove his guilt to me. I don't see how it proves guilt, personally. They can try to construe it that way as proving guilt, but I don't see it that way. Okay, hold on here. Let's see where we're at. Erekose, what do you think about Dave? Okay. Does Wisconsin have the death penalty? Right. No, a different letter? Oh, a different letter? I'm not sure. I'm not sure of this letter that you're talking about. I know you don't want to talk about the other items in the Dassey computer, but the Queso 2.0 officer asked BD about files labeled Teresa Halbach DNA. Yeah, and there was a file folder created that way. There was a file folder that was created that had Teresa and Steven's picture in it or something, and there was some odd stuff, definitely. No death penalty here in Wisconsin. People are saying the third phone call to TH and from SA on the proves guilt. No. There's no dead body, no witness, no weapon equals no murder. It showed the prejudice of the sheriffs when they searched the trailer. The female sheriff sees a letter inviting him to a function. Oh, that letter. Oh, you're just talking about. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Inviting him to the function for the Innocence Project to get together with other exonerees and stuff. Yeah, that was. And then she's like, "Looks like you won't be making that." You know, like all chipper. That's Wendy Baldwin. We don't like her. Scott Walker lost the election, so that could be good news. Absolutely. Absolutely, that could mean good news. I'm for SA, but did you notice during his TV interview when this happened, he referred to Teresa twice in the past tense? She used to come out here. I didn't really notice his. I didn't really notice him using the word "used to." I'd have to go back and look. I'm really sorry for my. No worries, Jerome. In essay defense, I'm guessing his choice of words are due to a limited vocabulary. Well, that can very well be. He's not the most educated guy. Erekose, what are your thoughts on Bobby knowing what TH was exactly wearing and he called TH? So, yeah, that was the thing that was in there, and obviously Travis touched on this earlier. To me, it's a little odd. It's not like groundbreaking evidence or anything, but it's a little odd. I mean, I can't imagine myself at that age. I can't imagine myself remembering every detail of what some girl wore if I wasn't interested in her. Right? I mean, that's just me. But, that does strike me as odd. But like I said, it's not the big earth-shattering, groundbreaking evidence. So, but it's I think interesting. It's something to be of note. Maybe Ryan shouldn't have deleted the messages on her phone. Yeah, because she comes out there. It was past. Right, she had been out there in the past, so it's not exactly out of bounds for him to say used to. Mom gasped at the woman's comment about that letter. My mom gasped at the woman's comment about that letter. Okay. Thanks. Me neither. Exactly, Lori. See, Bella, yes, it showed how he hated the Averys. I know one thing for sure. Scott Taddick has serious timeline issues. Yeah, that and his account, his changing accounts are an issue. JUK, great work. I'm so obsessed with this whole thing at the moment. At the minute, I don't judge books by their covers, but with the exception of Steve and Mr. Strang, they are the most deviant looking creatures. Really? Steve and Strang? Okay. Well, of course you're entitled to your opinion, J-Mac. And then she says, hey, let's get these shoes in the case. Yeah, that's Wendy Baldwin again. I bet we could solve half the petty crimes in Manitowoc or something, I think she says. Oh, yes, they were seething, just so gross and so obvious it's shocking. Scott Taddick is too dumb to pull all this off, allegedly. Erekose, do you know how many hairs of Teresa they did found in the RAV4? I'm not sure how many, but I know there was some hair like mashed in or whatever, like dried into the blood that they found on like the interior wheel well or whatever. I know there was some strands there. Don't know exactly how many, but I know there was a little bit. Good Wendy Baldwin impression. Let's see here. What happens if if appeal gets denied in December? Well, it doesn't get denied in December. Zellner files in December. I've explained this also a number of times, folks, so pay attention. Zellner files in December on the 20th. Then the state is going to have a certain amount of days to respond to that. They can ask for an extension. And then when the state responds to Zellner's motion, then Zellner will have a certain amount of time to reply to the state's response. And those will all get filed with the court. So sometime in probably like June or July or something like that of 2019 is when we'll hear something about this particular filing. Okay? Now, this is not the only filing. Okay? This is just the most recent one, and this is the one that the appeals court kind of put a priority on because there was potential Brady violation. So they kind of set the original 1,200-page motion aside for now, and it's still there. It's still pending. But right now, the more important thing is the CD and the Brady violation. So that is now being worked out. After that, then Zellner can come back, and then the 12,000-page motion, she'll be able to deal with that if they don't, find that there was a Brady violation. Then she will come back to the 12,000-page motion, which is still waiting to be argued with the Court of Appeals. So there's plenty going on. It's a couple things, and trust me, if both of those appeals fail, she will get more evidence and she will file again. She will do just exactly like she said. She will keep on knocking on that door until their ears bleed. I mean, she will just continue to pound away on that door until they just can't ignore it. Until they go insane and finally deal with it. All I'd remember is how short her skirt was and how much cleavage was it when I was that age. Not how short her jacket was. Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, guys aren't really focused in on that sort of stuff, generally speaking, most of them. So, yeah, it does strike me as a bit odd. Taddick and Dassey look and act and speak very suspiciously. Too many inconsistencies. Ooh, sorry. Let's see, Scott's ever-increasing fire, absolutely. I said with the exception of Steve and Mr. Shrink. Oh, the exception of. Okay, sorry, J-Mac. Okay, my apologies, Jay. I misread it. Sometimes when I'm reading these fast, sorry. I apologize, my friend. Sharon, okay, it kind of breaks the convo, though. Perhaps a better way would be for people to put question in caps and then the actual question in lower. Okay. Question, this is my question, right. I see. Should have expected a long process. Then Erekose can go straight to the caps questions. Would KZ be able to maybe get traffic footage of TH on the 35? Not at this point. I can't imagine. I can't imagine that there would be any footage from that time at all. I would imagine it's been overwritten by now, and it would be non-existent. We don't know where Marissa is. See, Bobby and Scott did it. The cops framed Avery. That's currently Zellner's theory, of course. So, the Newsweek article. Let's get back to that. The second part was. Let's see, what was the second part? It was. I forget what the second part was. I know the third part was about the cabinet. The second part was about Bobby. So yeah, I was talking about him obviously knowing about, remembering and describing, Teresa and her clothing and stuff in almost every, in very, a lot of detail. But the other thing that was interesting there was that Bobby had been referring to Teresa as Steven's girlfriend. Why? Why was he doing that? That's weird. So when you look at it, you got this 18-year-old kid who's noticing almost every little detail about this girl when she shows up. He's watching out the window when she arrives and then goes and takes a shower, really of the quickest shower ever, and comes back and is watching her through the window and then leaves right after her. Right? And then we have this account that he is calling her Avery's girlfriend. Why does he care? Why? First of all, why is he calling her Avery's girlfriend? But then again, even if there was just cause to think that she was Avery's girlfriend somehow, why does he care? What does it matter? Unless he's maybe unduly fixated with her. I don't know. That's weird. That whole thing about him calling her Avery's girlfriend kind of threw me. I was like, oh, what the heck is that? So that was really strange to me. And then they obviously talked about the scratches on his back that he claims came from the 6-week-old puppy that he had or whatever. So that was the second part of it, and I thought that was interesting. And like I said, that bit about her being, him saying that Teresa was Avery's girlfriend was just a little bit odd to me. Too many people involved for it to be a murder. That's the part I didn't understand, the whole girlfriend thing. It seems strange, though this is a stretch, that from what I've seen, very little explicit sorrow for Brendan from Scott and Bobby. Yeah. Could be very well. Just like to thank you for doing this. I enjoy your videos so much. Your tireless enthusiasm and knowledge about everything makes me feel better. Busy as I am, I can't get these guys out of my head. Well, you're so welcome, Julie Klein. I'm busy too, but I just, still, can't let it go. But then again, I also don't have any kids, so, probably helps that I don't have any kids. Sharon, if all of us here tonight tried to follow, hopefully newbies would catch on to the format. It's all trial and error. That's true. I don't buy that he had just woke up and it happened to be the same time as when TH was there and he just happened to notice out the window. Yeah, I know. It is a little strange. Erekose, new subscriber and fan, curious as to when and why you became so interested and involved in the case. Is there a video that explains this? Actually, there is. There's a video I made last year around Christmas time, and it's called Erekose Tells His Tale. So go type Erekose Tells His Tale into the search on my channel, and you'll find it. Let's see. Him calling T.H. Avery's girlfriend implies he is projecting. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It was just like, why do you care, dude? What the heck? You know, just weird that he would make that statement. He watched MaM and was struck by what happened to Brendan and how upsetting this was, and the kid was and treated so badly. That's basically the gist of it. SBI conspired with Colburn. I'm out. Got to get back to work. Thanks again. I will finish. Yeah, we'll see you later, Billy Jeebs. I'm just here to make things easier for Erekose. Let's try it tonight. Erekose for question lures. Yeah. Okay, so let me just say it here so that everybody will stop talking about it. So if you have a question, type question in all caps and then put your question after that. Let's start doing that, and hopefully it'll catch on, and all the newbies will start to do it, and we can make the chat a little more streamlined. Just remind them to start. Just remind them at the start and in between. The bones are still available for analysis. They are, I believe, yes. In fact, Zellner is desperately trying to get the skull fragments because Skip Palahniuk over at Microtrace wants to get those underneath his Microtrace microscopes. He thinks he sees something in the radial spectrography that he wants to look into further, and I believe that that's because he has a hunch that he can prove that what Dr. Eisenberg claimed was beveling from a gunshot. I think thinks he can prove that it was beveling from a hammer instead of a gunshot. So I think that's what he's after. A suggestion: instead of telling Erekose he missed a message, just retype it. Also, if you have a direct question and it's not just chat banter, tag him. That's a good point, but I will see question in capitals. I will definitely pick that out. So that will be a definite eye catcher for me. Not sure. I mean, if you guys say add Erekose, then it makes it orange, obviously, so that gets my attention as well. So, I guess either way. Bobby's testimony makes me think of 12 Angry Men. I doubt it would work tonight. It's a great video. Has anybody give Kratz any respect to pull this off? Is amazing. He could have said aliens came down and did it, and would have been believed. That's funny. Kucharski did say aliens. If Bobby heard the voicemail left for Barb, he'd know Teresa was coming. Absolutely. Thanks for saying that. Bobby knew she was coming there and heard the voice message. Yeah. The message mysteriously disappeared, but it's back because you can see it, you can hear it, you can listen to it on YouTube. Perfect. Let's give it a go. Why do you think about Greaseback inserting himself into the case now? I don't know that he's necessarily inserting himself. A lot of people are kind of peeved with him because he was so busy helping Stephen on his first wrongful conviction, but when this came along, he immediately rolled over and went right along with Manitowoc and Calumet and all that. And so people have this issue where they want to see him do the right thing. Question, is this correct? Yes. Question, this is my question. Good. That's the way it should look. In my opinion, Ryan H. is the only person that had motive to harm TH. Possessive, jealous rage from her sleeping with his best friend, roommate. That's definitely true and possible. What is Carla's theory? Carla? Which Carla? Carla Chase? I don't think Carla Chase has ever shared a theory with me. I don't think I've ever heard her share a theory with anybody. Was it normal for SA to set up the appointments with AutoTrader? Any reason why Barb didn't make the call since it was her personal event? It's like Steve was basically trying to push this along because she was dragging her feet about selling it. The boys wanted it to get sold. They didn't want to, because she was trying to save it for like a car for them. They didn't really want to want to drive it. Apparently, it had quite a few issues and stuff, and so they weren't real keen about it, and so they didn't want it around either. And so Steve just kind of like made the decision, like whatever, and called. Is basically the way that story goes. The real question is, how sexy do you find Dean String? Bobby and Scott did it. Ryan and the cops framed Avery. Does Carla or any of the family members watch you that you know of? I assume that they do, because slowly over the last 6 months, all but like, well, the ones that are active on Facebook have all friended me. They've all sent me friend requests. So and a lot of their friends that live in the area have also sent me friend requests. So I can only assume that they maybe watch some here and there. Let's see. Question: looked into the queso files. Other people have had work accidents and died in the Redont property. Have you looked at this? I've heard about those, that there were people. Is my monkey possessed? Is he moving? I pay attention, but haven't listened to your channel from the beginning. I'm bound to ask something you've covered already. I better just listen. Kim K. Well, you can ask something, you know. I mean, there's certain questions that keep getting asked a lot, and so if you see me get a little, dragged down or whatever by having to answer a question that I've had to answer probably about 100 times in the last 3 weeks, I am sorry. I apologize. It's hard to mask that, but when you're getting asked the same question for the 100th time, it's hard to not just go. But you can ask me questions. I swear the worst that I'll do is go. Let's see here. There's way more evidence of aliens. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, possibly. Do you think it is possible to find old video survey from Manitowoc County? Old video survey. Maybe try typing in a little bit more so I can kind of maybe figure out what you're saying there. I'm not sure what you mean by a video survey in Manitowoc, Jerome. The path the dogs took around the quarries is what alerted me the most so far. Mid-season MAM2, if the canines could only speak, I think we'd have an idea on the killer. Possibly. Todd, we don't know that she was sleeping with Blodorn. Wait. Yeah? Now you got me mind screwing myself, Amber. I'm pretty sure that we do know that. Now I'm like trying to think of where the proof of it is. We'll get back to that. We'll have to come back to that in a later video. I hit send on my suggestion right when you did the request. Felt people were needlessly having you scroll back up. I appreciate it. I do. I really do. This case has more twists and turns than a Stephen King novel. It's obvious something is wrong. Yeah, definitely. Millie, but both Bobby and Ryan have scratches. They must have been. They must have been the two that murdered her. Cops and Scott framed. That's a theory. It's Zellner's theory at the moment. Do you plan to join Zellner's Q&A tomorrow? I do hope to. Question: the guy that told Colburn about the RAV at the garage, is he willing to testify, and is he a legitimate witness? I believe so. I believe Zellner has an affidavit from him because he actually ended up calling her directly because Scott was giving him the runaround. Have you seen Have you seen the image of the white Jeep? Yes, I have. Somebody has sent that to me. Spooky monkey. Okay. I don't know my monkey. I like my monkey. Let's see. Check out his videos. Let's see. Bobby knew about the blood. Avery asked him to come. Bobby knew about the blood. Avery asked him to come to Menards. He said he had something to do. Oh. Oh, right. I see what you're saying, Millbilly Jeebs. I'd be interested to see that document that shows that, Millbilly. I really would. If you know where that's at. If you know what page of Queso, you could just tell me what page. I'll go find it. He killed her. He killed her. Him and Scott parked car on road where Colburn called it in. Sorry. There's the image. The image of the white Jeep. I've seen it. Somebody sent it to me. I think 2 people actually sent it to me. I get what you're saying, and I don't know how you keep your cool all the time. I just don't want to cause any additional aggravation. What is your question, Kim K? You gonna spit it out or what? Come on. Good night. Oh, good night, Joy. What's the deal with the green RAV, the green-blue RAV4 debate? Apparently, originally everyone said a RAV was green or something. Yeah, there was a big old thing. I have 2 videos regarding that whole school of thought about the color of the RAV4. I have 2 videos about it. One was called the mysteriously changing colors of the RAV4 or something like that. Or they're in my video library. If you type in like RAV color and RAV4 changing colors, you'll probably see both of them. What's the deal? Let's see here. Is the echo chamber of calls for guilty still strong in Manitowoc, or however it's spelled? Well, I talk about that when I was there in June for the rally. I would have to say no. I mean, it seemed we were getting a hell of a lot more people honking their support and leaning out their windows and hooting and hollering and woo and all that and whistling really loud and all that sort of stuff. And really just very few people that were coming by, saying F you or flipping us the bird or whatever. So, I mean, it looked to me like there's some, softening of the, what they think there in terms of Avery and Dassey. So I would say that there's a growing population of people that are open to the fact that Stephen and Avery may have been railroaded. Can we talk more about sleeping with Blowdorn? Blood was planted before moving the car on the highway. Hold on a second, Brian Nash. In an email from TH, she says she was sleeping with Scott Blowdorn. Is that where it was? Okay. My theory as well. Wow, White 1990 serves a rodeo in Colburn's driveway. Right. Did you note, or do you have a vid on the court diagram of the bones they found in the fire pit? Scapula, 2 vertebrae, metacarpal, no toes. BD confession said he saw toes. No toes equals coercion. That's a fair point. It's behind you. Don't turn around. Let's see. Is his name Tyrone? Jesus, why does this thing jump around so bad? J-Mac, can you remind me of the significance of the white Jeep? I hate to rehash it, but I've got a lot of info swimming in my head. The white Jeep, there was reports by one person who lives kind of over by where the Cuss Road, where they would have brought it in, where they would have brought the RAV4 in the back way. And he has signed an affidavit saying he saw what looked like the RAV4 and a white Jeep went up the road towards the Avery property. And that approximately, 15 to 20 minutes later or so, a white Jeep came back. And it was only the white Jeep came back. There was 2 cars that went in and 1 came back. So that's why this white Jeep is interesting. Let's see. Been great again, but I need some sleep. Hope you all have a pleasant evening. See you later, Andy. I mean, surveillance camera on the town. Oh, okay. Okay, so people have been asking that, but the thing is, Jerome, that any video from 2005 would be overwritten or gone by now. They wouldn't have kept it for 18 years or 13 years. They wouldn't have kept footage around for 18 years. Most likely, if they found, even if let's say Ken Kratz and the prosecution found that footage on the traffic cameras and stuff back in 2005, I'm sure they wouldn't have wanted that coming out. If people could prove that TH was leaving the salvage yard, that was something they wouldn't want. So if there was proof of that, they certainly weren't going to share it, and by now it's gone. There's no way anybody's going to find it now. There were reports of all white Jeep. Yes, as I was saying, could the white Jeep be the one Barb drove off in after Brendan got convicted? I doubt it. It's more likely going to be Andy Colburn's white Jeep. I have not even seen that image. Thanks. It's 6 in the morning and I've been working all night, and you keep yawning. Has sent me under. Oh, I'm so sorry, J Mac. I'm about to shut it down here anyways. It's been about an hour and a half, so seems like a good time to start shutting it down here. So my head is spinning. I'm now convinced the bus driver did it. Okay. Sorry for my English. I need more practice. No worries, Jerome. Hey, no worries. Hey, look, I didn't get mad. I just asked you to kind of just like explain it a little bit better so that I could understand. And I did. You did perfect. Thank you. I understand there's a language barrier, Jerome. Please don't feel self-conscious about it. Don't worry about it. I try to be patient with everybody. I know I'm sometimes may let a little bit of, something show on my face, but I'm a nice guy. Trust me. Sorry for all the typos. Typing quickly at work. No problem. And there it went jumping again. Touch my monkey? Hey, I don't want to touch your monkey. That a Sousa rodeo could be a 99 passport also. Explaining to my 11-year-old what and why I'm watching, and even he said, I wouldn't have done it. I want my $36 million. That's funny. That's good. There's far more supporters of Avery innocence than guilters. That states volumes. I would agree. They referred to it as a Jeep because of the tire on the back. Yambo Creek Road. Note the letter that I was referring to is from one of Casey's videos. Here is the link, and it is mentioned at 28, I think. 40 miles per hour. Let's see. Erekose Dr. Pepper time. Because my voice. All right. I did need that. Anyone else notice that Barb, aged like 30 years since season 1, she's carrying secret... Well, possibly. She's been through a lot. Her 16-year-old son has been in prison for something he didn't do for a long time as well. So But I take your meaning, I take your point, but it's not actual proof of anything. I agree. We own Geo Tracker and often refer to it as a Jeep because of the tire on the back. Technically, it's a truck SUV. Question, do we actually have proof that TH had the journal with her that day? Yes, there is. In the Queso reports, there is a document where an officer took a report from a woman who had spoken to TH that day. She had called her on the phone. was giving TH an address or something like that, and so Teresa actually had told this lady, okay, let me pull over so I can write it down. So she pulled over her car so she could write it down in the planner. That means the planner was in the car with her. And yes, there is a page in Queso that proves it. I was thinking the video would prove the headlight would prove Ryan is lying. Let's see here. Thank you. I watched a vid by Zoo something, and he says fire pit proves SA did it. I just questioned that after I looked at the court diagram. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. That Zoo guy, or that Zoo person. It may be a girl actually. And I've watched a few of their videos. You know, I'm not convinced by them. They do make some smart observations and things like that. So I'm by no means downplaying that person, but I kind of don't really follow with their reasoning. How could the bus driver be so wrong about the timeline? I don't think the bus driver was wrong about the timeline. I think that the 3:30, the bus gets there every day at 3:30. That's the one thing you can count on. The bus driver saying she saw Teresa on the 31st, that is where you can kick that out the window, because it's just not possible. It's way too far away. I was there at the salvage yard, and we actually checked that out. We actually stood from where the bus would be and tried to see what you could see. You can't see anything over at Steven's trailer from where the bus parks. So thanks for your time, sir. Just subscribed. Thank you so much, Brian. How could the bus driver be so wrong? Yeah, right. Let's see. Brad Dassey interview is really good. I'll have to check that out after I'm done here. Thank you, Jerome. Nash, yes, she had it that day because she had to pull over to write it. Yes, exactly. And it's in Queso. Bus driver said it could have been another day. Could have been, but the point is, the one thing that the bus driver gives us is that she drops them off there every day at 3:30. That doesn't change. That is the one thing you can take to the bank in this case. There's not much that you can take to the bank in this case. But the fact that the bus driver drops them off at 3:30 every day, that's one thing that you can be absolutely certain of. It's the Brad Dassey thing he did on the radio today. Some people have been talking about it if you haven't heard about it. How often are you on here? This is my first time. I was on the 19th, October 19th, when MaM2 came out. I was immediately uploading lives that morning, and I've been doing a live broadcast pretty much every day. I've skipped probably maybe a couple days, but I've been doing almost a live broadcast almost every day. And then last night I introduced my new structure. So yesterday I uploaded a premiere video, basically a video that's not live, that just has some information in it. And then that was setting up tonight's live. So tomorrow night on my channel, there will be another premiere. Another premiere will be on my channel tomorrow night, and that premiere will be setting up Friday night live, the live chat for Friday night. So to kind of give everybody a basic subject matter for the Friday night live. So that's kind of my new format. And I'm going to try and do that. I'm obviously going to have to figure out where I'm going to take days off here and there. But for now, because MaM2 just came out, probably for another month, 2, maybe even 3, because I want to talk about it while everybody's interested in it, while it's, white hot spotlight on it. So I'm trying to do as much as I can here in the opening, hopefully 3 to 4 months, and to get on here and try to give you guys as much information as possible, as much as I can. First time catching live feed, been watching your videos for a while, keep up the good work. Thank you, James. Can the monkey sit on your shoulder for the next live? Yeah, but how would I keep him there? It would just be annoying. I feel for Barb. I'd age 2 if my son was in prison. Exactly. Erekose bus driver does not at the weekend. Yeah, but October 31st was a Monday. Right. Yeah, 31st was a Monday. Let's see. Stacy, your music rocks. Oh, Stacy's in here. Did I miss him? Where'd he go? There he is. Hey, what's up, Stacy? It's crazy Ryan never had to answer why. He had that page from the planner, absolutely. Just let me know when your next live is and we'll get into it. Well, if you watch my premiere tomorrow, if you tune in for my premiere tomorrow, there will be a link in the information below in the information box below the video of my premiere. And there will be a link there. You click on that link and it'll take you right to the live feed essentially. And it will have a countdown and you can even set a reminder. Porter hit subscribe and the notification. Everybody hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't already. The bus driver was probably thinking back to another day when she did CTH. Possibly. Are they currently filming MAM 3? As I've said, they didn't even make the decision to do MAM 2 for several months after the first MAM. There's no decision made yet. We gotta wait. That's something you gotta wait for. They've just finished a monster project in MAM 2. They are resting and relaxing and probably on vacation and enjoying their success right now. They will probably make some kind of statement about it, but it's not going to be right now. It's going to be probably 6 to 7 months down the road. Erekose, you should take Friday off. As purple is on. Well, yeah, but anyways, like I said, hopefully I'll get off of work early on Friday and I'll be able to get home and I'll be able to go at 3 in the afternoon or something like that, and that way it'll be well before Laura's. What if Teresa's still alive and accessed her own voicemail accidentally and Ellie worked with Ryan to clean it up? I guess that's a possible thing. Captain Horatio Magellan Crunch, I can't believe that 140 of you are listening to this delusional dude. He thinks I'm British. You are British, you idiot. Hey, Captain, what's the names of your crew, buddy? Tell us all the names of your crewmates. Come on, Captain. Amber Lee, I would, but this is a government protected account to prevent traces, so I can't. The hell is that about? Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Denon Porter. How do I let you know? Other than like I said, by the video I'm going to upload tomorrow that's going to have the link so that you guys can actually click on the link and get a countdown for the live and you can actually set yourself a reminder. I don't know how else to reach you directly. So my suggestion is that when the premiere uploads tomorrow or when the premiere happens tomorrow, check the information below the video and there will be a link to my live. And then you click on that link, and then, like I said, it'll bring up a screen for where my live's going to be, and it'll tell you. It'll have a countdown. It'll say something like 24 hours or 23 hours or whatever it'll be. It'll tell you. It'll give you a time, and that way you'll know exactly when. That way it's less guesswork. And where's your shirt and tie? Hi, Stacy. My shirt and tie, I wore it in the video that you're going to see tomorrow night. I read on Twitter that Bobby's wife left. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that, but I'm not sure there's much truth to it. Use another account then. We're on a rural bus route. Time can differ, 20-minute window, but yes, usually within 5 minutes. Bus driver had it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that right around 3:30 is the time that bus would normally get there. I mean, I'm pretty sure of that. So, Paul Capaldi and Stacy Seabrook. Let's see, and the brother makes me feel something off. Yeah. Hey, this is my first live feed. You are the best MAM sleuth I've heard. I'll ask good questions later. I'm obsessed with MAM, and I live just south of Manitowoc. Awesome, Andrew. Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to field some of your questions there, buddy. More great music today from Stacy Seabrook. I can't wait for the guys to get out. It's going to be a celebration. I only hope they leave their state and leave that state. I agree. Erekose, I was kidding you. You said one thing. You know, as the bus driver comes every day. Sorry for the confusion. If I did that, then everything say could be traced, therefore jeopardize the trial. Okay. I heard about a series coming out from the state's point of view. That would be Convicting a Murderer. It's supposed to come out in 2019. James Beach. Yeah. That is coming. Erekose, he's just trying to make himself seem so important. He could easily use a different computer and account. Question, how ridiculous is the Ed Edwards theory? It's not one of my favorites. I don't want to go as far as to call it ridiculous because there's a lot of people out there that believe in it, but it's not a favorite theory of mine. Just give me a roundabout time, and I'll just be on here watching. So you're not interested in the premiere tomorrow that sets up the live? Okay, then it's just going to be. If I get off of work early on Friday, it's going to be around 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 3 p.m. Pacific. If I don't get off of work early on Friday, it's probably going to be about 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Hope that helps. What would really be easier is if you just go to the premiere, click the link to the live, and set a reminder. Or click the live and then just keep a bookmark of it or something so that you can get back to it, because I really don't know how Friday's going to play out yet. So let me see, how can I do this, dude? I don't know how to get you a message to let you know. So sometime between 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday. I just don't know yet. You can touch my monkey. Okay. I'm in studio tomorrow. Should have one of the tunes polished. Avery Road. Fingerprint them all. Something going on. I don't know which one of those I would want to see you polish. See, Nasher Erekose, I disagree on the Ed Edwards theory. However, I don't believe he did it, but I do believe he could have. Well, I guess you could say that I'm just not my favorite theory, but I mean, I see some small amount of merit to it, but just not a lot. KZ has been tweeting about a big revelation. Yep, we were talking about that at the beginning. That she's going to be doing a Q&A tomorrow, 12:30 Central Standard Time. Go to her Twitter feed at 12:30 Central Standard Time. What will happen is she will make a tweet, and then people will start replying to that tweet and asking questions. And then what she did last time was if she decides to answer a question, she will then retweet that question, and she will put in her own text on the retweet, so that then when it ends up showing up in the feed, it shows the question, and then it shows her answer right above the question. So that's how it went down last time. Pretty sure it's gonna be the same thing this time. Set your phone, dude. They're all great. Stacy, brain fingerprint is probably my equal favorite to Don't Get Strange. The dude may have a different one. I like We All Live on Avery Road. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to participate in MAM, so it wasn't one-sided, but then they have their own doc series coming out. Wait, shouldn't we say that is one-sided too because lawyers aren't in it? I think the Bones are her cousins. That's Carmen Boutwell. That's a popular theory. Did Ryan have a reason as to how he had... No, nothing's been offered. Let's see. What could the announcement possibly be? Well, we were theorizing about it at the beginning of the video. If you go back, if you just replay this video, it's like in the first 10 minutes we were theorizing all about that. It looks as though your channel has been growing a lot. I swear it had 2.5 last week. Maybe not. Either way, you need more. Great stuff. Actually, Thumb, it was at about 2.5 on October 19th. Yeah. It was about 2.5 on October 19th. And then since October 19th, I've had over 1,000 subscribers. Zellner's Q&A tonight on Twitter. Tonight. Oh, you must be in a part of the world that's already the 15th. Let's see here. Erekose, did you see the new video of Dave's wife? No. No, I didn't. I don't like Twitter. Anyone recapping it? Oh, I suppose I could probably try to do that. Maybe. Alright, so yeah, maybe I'll think about trying to do that for you guys. I'll try to, I'll go through the feed tomorrow night. I'll go through the feed tomorrow night, and I'll pick out like what the big deal was that she was looking to reveal, and then I'll pick out maybe some of the couple other of the really good questions, and then we can all kind of take a look at that or something like that. I can upload it as a premiere. Maybe I'll have it. Maybe I'll have a second premiere tomorrow, and that way there'll be 2 videos. And depends what time I'll get off work tomorrow, but might be able to do that. If so, try. Trust me, if you knew who this actually was. Right. Bobby Scott killed Colburn. Bobby and Scott planted the bones. Yeah, that's the current theory. We do love Sharon's We Star. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Jerome. Did Ryan have an explanation for all of the short calls from blocked numbers that night? I don't believe so. I don't believe he had any explanation. I don't believe he's ever explained anything. Ryan has never explained anything, as far as I'm concerned, that makes any kind of sense. So I doubt he explained that. Please do a recap. Awesome work as always. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. We need to let's see. We need to change the name of this chat to Up All Night with Erekose. That's funny. Hey, Chase. Wow, I was just signing off. Good to see you, though. Since I live so close to Manitowoc, what can I do to help your team? I don't know. Can you get me one of those Wiegert for Sheriff signs? I'd really, 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 really want one of those. Let's see. Only spelled correctly. Everyone, make sure you check out me tweet around noon tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you, Erekose. Yes, thank you all so much. You'll watch it? Yeah, that's a good thing about these, right? You can just rewatch it, right? It's great to see you though, Chase. It's lovely to see all of you here. It's been lovely talking with all of you. I don't know what happened to Travis. I assume he got busy doing something else. I can ask him in an email after I'm done going live here, but Ryan didn't have to explain himself or his shady actions. Good night, Brian Nash, and thanks, Erekose. You're welcome. Good night, good night, good night. So that's about it, folks. I think we'll go ahead and everybody's saying good night, and seems like the questions are pretty much run out for now. So, as I said, look for my premiere tomorrow. It's going to be uploaded on this channel, and that will be setting up the live for Friday night. I will try to upload a second premiere for tomorrow to follow the one that I've already uploaded, and hopefully that will be kind of covering some of the main bits in Zellner's Twitter feed for you, and so we can I can try to get you guys, and give you some of my thoughts on some of the things that get said during the live Q&A. So that's about it. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see ya.